Well, I'm Candy Mays. Thank you so much. We welcome you to this little intro of what a life story advocate is. To start off, I just wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to do something that used your particular talents and skills and get paid well for it, right? So that's one of the missions of this company that Heidi and I have put together over the last several months. Heidi and I have been working on this for about 20 years. We started with a different company that grew out of the love of our grandparents, my grandpa and her grandma, my grandpa Nicholas and her grandma Fern. And over the course of 20 years, we discovered a lot of things. And then Heidi has a particular affection for the elderly and, with memory keeping. But she has, like, you guys, you were hand selected to join us today, and you'll see why, because these are, I think, your particular talents. And this company that we are growing, we feel is a really special thing that is to bless the lives of many, including yours and your families, because of your talents and to be able to get paid to do something wonderful. So I just wanted to introduce with that how it relates to you, how special you are, and how special Heidi is. She won't tell you this, but I have never met someone quite like her. And so she's just super special. She's so wonderful. She's such a hard worker. She's a mother of four, a wonderful wife, a daughter of God. She is amazing. And each one of you the ones I invited remind me of her. And so this is the kind of people we want to invite to join us on this new journey at the grassroots, but not so much grassroots because, like I said, we had a company before and grew it really nice and big. And so we know how to do it. And we're excited to do this special project. And thank you for coming. With that, I'll turn it over to Heidi.
Thanks, Candy. That was very kind. And those of you who don't know Candy, like she said, we became business partners 20 years ago and have become best friends. We both have a passion for people and stories and helping and serving. And so we are excited to tell you guys a little bit more about this program. Okay. So this is Lindy. Lindy can't see, but this is Lindy on the screen. And this quote, "Who's that good looking guy?" I just want to tell you briefly a little bit about my background. For the past probably 10 years, I've been doing specifically work with the elderly and helping them tell their stories. And I had volunteers coming in, and Lindy was one of our volunteers. She came in and wrote several of the senior stories. And in the process of that, we discovered some really magical things. I had this experience 20 years ago about the magic that happens when you literally give somebody their life back. And when you can present them a book that's full of their stories, their confidence comes back. They remember who they are, and they remember that they're not just all the things that they can't do anymore. And so when Lindy came and presented this book to him, he looked at the cover with, you can see in this super strong magnifying glass, and he could barely see. And he said, "Who's that good looking guy?" And Ron lived at an assisted living center, never ate with anybody else but the same table. He sat with the same ladies, never branched out. And after Lindy did his story, he was a new guy. Like, he was walking around, visiting different tables, talking to new people. His confidence came back because he was reminded that he had value, that his life did matter, and that it was important. So Lindy has already done this to some extent. So we've switched it up a little bit, but this was the first books we did in 2017 with this concept of doing specifically the elderly. And Candy was in town and was actually able to be there with me when we presented the first two books to the residents with their life stories. So this was in 2017. This is now in 2022. And the picture on the left, it's more full than that now. And I asked the marketing director to send me a picture, and he sent me this one on the right, which I didn't want to be rude and say, "Can you send me a better one that shows all of them?" So I just took this one, and so you can see the books here. So the idea is short, simple books that grandchildren can read, trying to connect the generations. So I've been doing this in a format in a different company I've just done by myself with these little simple softbound books with volunteers helping me, and basically doing it as a service project just because I loved it. I was passionate about it and wanted these people's stories to be told. And so Candy and I have kind of tweaked what I've been doing and created Nicholas Fern. So as she told you, that's her grandfather's name and my grandmother's name. And we were trying to think about a creative name and something we could do that was meaningful. And so it's called Nicholas Fern, this company name. And overview of what it is Nicholas Fern specializes in providing services for seniors to help them leave their legacy through story and video that is engaging and inspiring for the next generation. Our mission is to give seniors the power to take control of their legacy and pass it on to the next generation, providing hope, connection, and a sense of belonging. As we visit face-to-face and personally connect with each of our clients on a level much deeper than casual conversation, something magical happens. They feel seen, heard, and validated, and finally realize what they stand for and who they truly are does matter. And passing it on will have a tremendous positive influence on their posterity. And I know Lindy can speak to this, Candy can speak to this, because they've both have experienced it. So kind of in summary, we're taking the wisdom of the world's greatest generation and making it accessible and interesting to inspire the next generation who desperately need it. So we are a light to the lonely and bring happiness and friendship to those we serve. We are looking for happy, confident, story-loving individuals to help them remember who they truly are. And this picture says it all. This is what we do. We help people who are aged and not confident anymore look in the mirror and remember that person that used to be staring back at them. So this is one lady, I just did her story, and she told me, it makes me feel good that there's a person that acknowledges that I have done something. I really appreciate that, because no one would ever really know what I've done. I never appreciated or never anticipated ever having a biography. And I think this is a good one. And she was just so appreciative and so grateful that somebody had taken the time to listen to her story, right? To let her know that her life was worth something. So how it works is we have a team of amazing individuals working to ensure that the star, and the star is seniors that are remembered, have a wonderful experience and receive a professional product that their posterity will enjoy for generations to come. So there's lots of different people in the puzzle, and the main one is the story advocates. And so that's what you guys are here to learn more about. And the story advocates would do the interviewing of the elderly, video record them, and digitize pictures. And then you would then take that information and pass it off to the story spinners, the people who love to write. They will then take what we have, the information we've gathered, and turn that into a story. Then it would go to an editor. And then we have book builders who are then going to take all of that information and compile it into professional hardbound storybooks for the stars. And then we also have videographers who are going to take the videos that we make and make little teeny short clips so that kids at the back of their book can scan it, and then up pops grandpa telling them his advice and why it's important to work hard, or whatever their advice is for their posterity.
Heidi, just before you go on,
Yep.
Everybody in our 20 years of experience with memory keeping, everybody wants to write their parents' or grandparents' story. And in our experience, their desire is there, but they don't get it done. And so Heidi and I have come up with a solution for that. And over the course of testing it, we've come up with these different things: story advocates, spinners, editors, builders, because everyone's talents are different. And after I did my first book for someone locally here, a 93-year-old woman, I said, Heidi, I love the interview part. Like, that is me. And so that got us to the point where we thought we should just break it up. Like, you maybe don't like sitting at a computer, but you love visiting with people. And so, like I said, you guys are the story advocates that we've picked for that. But if there's something else that tweaks your interest, that's fine too.
Yeah, if you're a writer and you're like, I love to write, you can do both, right? You can do different pieces of this, but yeah, we've kind of divided it out. So
you'll get a chance to see, if you work with us, you'll see which one you resonate with more. They're all wonderful. But I love being a story advocate. I love the interview. I love hearing the story and just going in there and making people feel good. Thanks, Heidi.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the goal is to have a story advocate in every city in America so that we can record as many stories as possible before it's too late. There's 700,000 Americans age 85 plus die each year. So the clock is ticking and we need your help. We're building a community of legacy leavers by offering the following services. So We have personalized storybooks and videos, and we have legacy lockets. And the packages are here, and there's a simple version that's the bronze, and that we just give them and say, here's how you do it. You interview your parent yourself, give us all the information, and we'll put it into a book for you. There's no video or anything fancy. It's just they gather the content, give it to us, and we'll create the book. The silver package, they get the book, they get the professional written text, the videography, the scanned pictures, one video story QR code for the back of the book, plus a legacy locket, up to 50 picture stands. So there's several things that they get with that package. That package is $14.99. And then our gold package is $17.99. And they get everything that the silver gets, except for they get an extra story and they get a slideshow of all the pictures that we digitize for them.
And Heidi has found that slideshow is very helpful, like when funerals come around, right?
Yeah, so they could do it for that, or even just for grandkids to have on their phone, right? How many videos do kids watch a day? At least 6 hours worth, right? And so why not give them something that's meaningful, something they can connect to, and some videos that can inspire them. So with these packages, I've done research, everything, every company I've been able to find that offers a service similar to this is in the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 range. So this is a very reasonable price, even though sometimes it might be like, oh, that's so much money, right? But in the scheme of this type of a product, this is very reasonably priced. And we did that on purpose because we want people to be able to record their story. And the other thing is that nobody's doing it this way. Nobody's adding video with the story. Nobody's making it into a children's book. So it's short enough that people are actually going to read it. Okay, these are 24 pages with 24 little short stories and photos that go with them. So it's not a huge door stopper. It's not something that you're like, oh, I just can't get to that. I know I really should read that, but I just don't have time, right? This is something you're physically going to read to your great-grandchildren. They can read, or to your own grandchildren, or to your own children. You're going to sit down and read this at bedtime, right? So that they're going to grow up learning these about the real heroes in their life, which is their grandparents and great-grandparents. So with this being said, the advocates, which would be you guys, we're hoping that the price you guys would make on each gold package would be about $400. Okay, so the bronze package, it's the pricing is different, but on the higher package, the hope is $400, and the interview is about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay, so the first interview, you're going to go to on average 4 visits for this package. So you're going to be into it about 10 hours, maybe. Okay, less, maybe 8 hours. So you're making it a very decent professional wage, and you're building friendships and changing lives at the same time. So the first visit, you're going to basically do the interview. The second visit, you're going to come back and have them go through the story and make any changes. You're going to digitize their photos. The third time, you're going to come back and finalize the text and say, okay, let's sign off on it. And then the fourth visit is the most magical one. You're going to show up with the book, and you get to have that magic moment to see them get their life back and for their confidence to change. So that is the legacy packages for the books.
We train you every step of the way of that.
So we have a training course, and all of that. We will teach you how to do everything.
Screw it up. Heidi's helped me. I can do it. Anyone can do it. It's so
doable. We'll train you to become the professionals for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, here's one of the videos.
People to remember about you. Well, I hope they'll remember that I was a kind, sincere, faith-filled woman, the one that believes in Savior Jesus Christ and the atonement and what he has done for me, and that I can be with him again and with my Heavenly Father and my family. Well, if I have advice to give to my posterity, I think there's a lot I'd like to say, and I don't know that I'll say it right, but one thing, I don't want you to live with any regrets. So if you have anything in your life that you regret, try to correct it or make amends. I think that's one of the things that sometimes holds people back. I think you want to enjoy life as much as you can. There, of course, are sad times. Remember that the sun will come out tomorrow. I think Annie said that. And try very hard to be non-judgmental. What you need to do is remember that what's inside is what counts. The Savior didn't judge people. He wanted people to repent of their sins, of course, but he wasn't judgmental. Try to be the best you can. You don't have to be the president of the company to be important, because the person that's the janitor is just as important as the president. Everybody in this world has a purpose, and we need everybody. Decide what you want to do in life and then do it well. Maybe that's enough for now. I love you all.
So that is an example of what the legacy locket would be. So that video is made into a QR code that is then put into a little locket, and then with the picture of the person. And then it can be made into a keychain or a necklace. And we have different prototypes and different versions of the lockets that we're just finalizing and doing some final testing on to make sure we get the right product. We might offer multiple versions, but so the idea is the legacy locket is a much shorter time commitment. This is you go in and you visit for an hour and a half. The last 15 minutes, you're going to record their advice. But for that hour, you're guided with questions of what you're going to ask them, pondering questions for them to be thinking about their life. What was the hard things they went through that made them who they are today? And as you're discussing these things, you're going to come to a point of, okay, this is what's most important. This is what I want to leave to my posterity. So you're going to film them saying that information. Then that information goes to our videography team. And then they're going to then create the video. And then you would gather find out what their favorite photo is, get their photo digitized while you're there. So this one is less time intensive, but the hope with this is they realize we have way more than 2 minutes of information I want to leave. Like, my story does matter, and I do want to take the time to preserve it. And so the hope is after they do this, they realize, wait, I want to do the bigger story. And so that's available. Then you've already built that friendship and you've already got part of the story already done at that point. So they can also buy additional lockets, and with the storybooks, they can buy additional books for their family when that's after the book is done. So our marketing plan is we want to do the marketing and get it out into new areas. So you guys don't have to be the marketers. We don't need you, don't feel like, oh, I've got to go talk to people and that scares me and I don't know how to market. If you have connections with places, fantastic. We would love to reach out to your resources that you have and talk to people. But the spaces that we're working in is social media, where we will be marketing to the children of the seniors, right? So those who are in their 50s, 60s, those who are just barely starting to have grandchildren, because what are their grandchildren going to remember about their parents? And when they really start thinking about that, they're like, yeah, probably not much, right? Maybe they'll see a picture or two of the person, and we don't want that to happen. We want there to be a connection there, a solid, strong family connection. And so social media will be marketing to that age demographic. We want to reach out to funeral homes and target those who are coming in ready to pay for their prepaid funerals, because in their mind, they're thinking, okay, end of life is coming. And we want to offer this as a service so that they can also not just put the family at ease by covering the cost of the funeral, but giving them something that they can remember them by. We want to reach out to estate planners and financial planners, those who are trying to get all their affairs in order, provide this product to them, as well as senior living communities and assisted living centers. And so our game plan with those is we're going to offer a legacy empowerment seminar to these facilities and just kind of educate them on the importance of their legacy. And so these are going to be called Treasures Untold. And the theme of it is kind of that they're each a treasure, right? They have these golden nuggets within them, and their grandchildren are just waiting to get that information. And we're going to help them in a simple way learn how important it is to take control of their legacy. They can't control a lot of things at this stage of life. There's a lot of things that they worry about that are out of their control. And we want to empower them and teach them that they they can take control of their legacy. They can take control of
How they're remembered.
being remembered, how they want to be remembered, and the impact and influence they're going to have on their grandchildren after they're gone. They can still have an impact on them. And so we're going to do that with in the assisted living and senior living community. So we'll do thoughts and questions real quick. We've got 8 minutes left, but I love this quote. We're going to give this quote to the seniors when we go and do our Treasures Untold seminars with them. But it says, we are all leaving a legacy, whether we like it or not. Our legacy is a combination of the way we live every day and the impact it has on our friends, our family, our community, and the world, as well as how we prepare others for life without us. Leaving a legacy is a way to let others appreciate our love and our consideration for them, because we took the time to plan ahead for the impact our absence would have on them. Mm-hmm. And I think that says it all, right? We're helping these people plan ahead so that when they're gone, that sting and that hurt of it's gone, it's final, they're not here anymore, isn't quite as hurtful, because their advice, their video, their mannerisms, their laugh, we still have that, and it's passed on for generations. So any questions or thoughts you guys have?
I don't have any questions. I think this is absolutely amazing. And I already know like handfuls of people that I want to introduce this to. So it's really exciting. Heidi, this is so neat.
Thank you, Celeste. I'm so glad you're here, because and I think we're all cut from the same cloth, right? We all, you just find people that you connect with, and you have the same heart, and you care about people. And that's what we want. We want people to go in and make these people feel like $1 million, right? Let them know that we care.
I was getting teary watching that lady talking, and
I can't get through this without crying. Oh my gosh.
So I can't even imagine if it was like you, it really was an ancestor, a family member that you knew, just even how much more meaningful that would be. So
Celeste, have you met Lisa's mom?
I haven't.
Okay.
Is that her?
That was Lisa's mom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's the cutest. Lisa hasn't even seen that video yet. I'm got to schedule it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Lisa agreed to let me use her mom as my demo for the whole thing. And so yeah, the other thing, so we give them the option with the legacy lockets that we can either give it to them now if they want, or they can wait until when they're gone, after they've passed away, and then we can give it to the family. So that's up to them if they decide what they want to do. My initial thought was give it to them after they died, because it's so much more impactful once they're gone. But now that I have the videos done, I'm like, the families want them. So I'm just going to give them the choice. If you want it now, we can give it to you now. If you want to wait, we can wait.
You guys, I came on board after Heidi had done all those stories at that assisted living center. And I went through her process and was the first guinea pig of the new process, not what she was doing before. And I have to tell you, this is the coolest thing. Like, I wasn't sure I wanted to get involved. It's totally my wheelhouse. It's what I love. But I said to my husband, I'm like, I don't know. I just want to be completely honest with Heidi. So I'm going to try it. I picked a woman that my husband ministers to, the 93-year-old woman. She has no posterity but one son. But she came from a family of like 12 siblings, 3 sets of twins. And she, it was like life-changing for me. And it was life-changing for her. And as I was doing it, I'm like, I've been happy before, but I've never been this happy. Like, it made me so happy to just go touch her life in this small way and make her feel good about herself, or she feels so forgotten in this little house all by herself and her little dog or little cat. And I just really invite you to consider this and try it once, because I wasn't sure I was in until I did it. And then I'm like, well, I want to do this. This is, I'm 51 and I want to do this for the next however many years Heidi will keep me. Yeah. So
any other questions or thoughts?
I have a question. Sorry, I don't know how come you can't see me. This is Vicki. I don't know how to fix my. Okay. Anyway, I just have a question. I would love to do this for my mother-in-law who lives with us. Could she be my first person and I would buy it for her.
Highly encourage that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
If you have a family member, definitely do your family. They're a great
Okay.
ones to practice on, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And did you say it was cutting out? Did you say, does she live close to you? Or
She
maybe-
lives in the
She
house.
lives with them.
Oh, perfect then. Yes, definitely.
Well, and also, Vicki, you can encourage or invite family members to contribute, like a Mother's Day gift or any kind of birthday gift for her. They can contribute 200 each or whatever. You break it down. Like
Yeah.
we bought my mom electric bike last Christmas. We all had to spend, I think, 300 each. And like,
Yeah.
that's great, but it's just collecting dust in her garage now. And this is priceless for generations. Like,
Totally.
Yeah.
They would love that for a Christmas gift
mhm.
or other.
When does
Awesome.
the training begin?
So the training will be you can take it all on your own. Like, so if you decide, like, we don't have to do it all at the same time. It's all, like, it's a PowerPoint training, right? So you can just do the training whenever it works for you, timing wise. So as soon as you want to get started, we're ready to get going. If you need time and you can't do it for a while, you can do it later. So there's not an absolute, like, we're going to have a training call on this day. So it's kind of whatever works for you.
Okay.
You can set those
So
all up.
I can start this week. Yeah.
Fabulous. That's okay. Love it.
Heidi, are we going to do a little live to go over the training?
Yeah,
Or-
we can do that. We could do like a kickoff call, just kind of introducing it and kind of going over everything. And then,
Because I didn't have a kickoff call, but I had one-on-one with Heidi all the time. So whoever invited you to this call, that will be your like go-to trainer. But I thought if Heidi did like a kickoff call for all of us and described what exactly you do, that would help so much, just short like this. And then they could be off on their own. And then, like she said, we want to meet. We'll send out, if you're in, you finish up, Heidi. I know you have a plan there.
well, yeah, we've got, if you are interested, you want to do it, we'll send out a form, kind of little,
Get
hey,
your
I'm gonna sign
contact.
my name, I want to do this, here's all my contact information. I'm committing to doing, finding somebody to do a story and all of that. So
Mhm.
we'll start with that, and then we can go then we'll set a date of when we want to do this. And if this time works good, we can do this again, or if there's a different time that's better, we can do that. We'll do the little kickoff overview thing and send it out if those of you who want to do it aren't able to be on. So that's kind of the next steps. Just let whoever invited you to the call know, hey, I'm in, send me that form so I can fill out the paperwork,
Perfect.
and then we'll just go from there. So
Cool. So unfortunately, I've got to jump off, but Heidi, I'm in.
okay,
Will you send
awesome.
me
So
that?
I'll send you that, and then we'll talk to you. I'll see you Tuesday, right? Will you? No,
No, not this Tuesday, the following.
following Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Okay, I'll send you the
Thanks,
stuff. Thanks, Celeste.
Yeah, nice to meet you all.
Okay, so we've got less than a minute, and then we're all going to be booted off. So if anybody has any last questions they want to ask before we get booted from the call.
Great idea. Love it.
Thank
I
you.
really feel it's been inspired in Heidi.
Yeah, 22 years ago, I had the aha moment. I did this with a lady, and to watch her come alive and see her change, I was like, this has to happen. We have to do this for everyone. So it's taken me a while, and it's lots of
And the
raw-
technology is caught up. Wait till
Technology
you
is caught up.
see what you get. Like, we haven't even told you everything. Like, the photos that you preserve for them will outlive them by 100 years. And they'll have an account where they own